We're going to be looking at file formats. Now at this stage of the course we don't need to know a huge amount about file formats, but we do need to know that they exist and have a rough idea of what they actually are. Because trust me on this, you will run into a problem with file formats. And if you've got a general idea of what they are, then you can get over that problem. We can all do this together. So on your computer, open up a program called WordPad. Click the Start button, type WordPad, and then when it appears at the top of the list, left click it. Once WordPad's fully loaded, resize it so it takes up roughly half the screen. Shove it right up to the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, just half the screen. Now we're going to open Notepad, and we'll resize Notepad into the bottom half of the screen. Now both these programs handle text, the written word, and so whatever I type into WordPad, I could also type into Notepad, and there's not much difference. So seemingly these two programs do the same thing. So the question is, can these two programs share files? And the answer is, well, sort of. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. In WordPad, type, "Can you read this?" Now what we're going to do is to save this as a file onto the desktop, and then we'll see if Notepad can actually read it. So click File, and then click the Save button. We'll call the file WordPad document. Click Desktop in the left hand panel, and then click the Save button. So that's our document saved. Now we'll try to open that document, that file, in Notepad. So click File and then click Open. Now the file is on the desktop, so we'll click Desktop in the left hand panel, and we can't see it. There should be a file here called WordPad document. We saved it onto the desktop, so where is it? The problem here is that WordPad saved the document, saved the file in a format called Rich Text Format, or RTF. Notepad though, that can only read files in the text format. So that's what it's looking for. It's looking for simple text documents. It's going to completely ignore any other files. It's going to ignore pictures, music, videos, and it's certainly going to ignore files saved in RTF, in rich text format. Now we can actually make Notepad show us all the files on the desktop. Looking at the open window, when you look right at the bottom of it, we've got our file name box, which is empty at the moment because we haven't chosen a file, and then to the side of it we've got this file type box that tells you the file format that Notepad is looking for, and you can see it says text documents and in brackets .txt, but there's a drop down arrow. If you click on the drop down arrow, we now get the option to select all files, and that does exactly what it says. So click on all files, and now you can see all the files on your desktop. Now you should be able to scroll through and find the WordPad document that we saved. When you find it, left click on it once to select it, and then left click Open. Wow, right, okay, well done Notepad. First, it's managed to open a format that it doesn't actually understand. You can actually just make out the message, "Can you read this?" It is there, but we've got all this extra data as well. Now all this stuff is related to the RTF format, the rich text format. Notepad doesn't know what to do with it, so it's just displaying it. It's letting us decide what to do with it. At the top of the screen we've got WordPad. WordPad knows exactly what all this means, and it also knows it's not supposed to be on the screen. Now you might say to me that the problem is that you're creating a file with one program, WordPad, and then trying to open it with a different program, Notepad. And you'd be half right. It is something to do with that, but not exactly. What it's to do with is the format. Because WordPad saved our document as an RTF document, as an RTF file, that's where Notepad's struggling to open it. It can't deal with RTF files. Formats are a little bit like languages. So here I've got a shopping list and it's written in French, and I don't understand French, I don't speak French. So I'm going to need this translating for me. But here's the thing, I don't need to find the person that wrote the note. I don't need to find the person that created the note. All I need to find is one of the many millions of people that actually speak French, and they could translate it for me. And the same is true with computer programs and file formats. Most of the time you don't actually need the program that created the file, you simply need a program that can read that file format. You need a program that speaks the lingo. Okay, so that's enough for now. In the next video we'll get WordPad to help Notepad out.